St Petersburg, a city of rare beauty and tragedy. This was Peter the Great's window on Europe, slammed shut for 70 years by the communists. Now, for its 300th birthday, the window's been given a lick of paint and thrown wide open again. The world's finest musicians have come to play. Among them, 101 from the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra.
Very beginning, one more time.
That the MSO was asked to the party is worthy of a Dostoevsky classic.
Yeah, that felt very comfortable. Very good.
St Petersburg's famous Kirov Orchestra was nearly wiped out in a plane accident en route to Australia 2 years ago. The Russians were warmly welcomed in Melbourne, and the bond forged with the MSO led to the invitation to play in the former imperial capital.
This year is a special year, 300 years St Petersburg, celebrations all over, and we are part of it. And, dare I say, a substantial part of it, in the main venue, in the featured night. It's brilliant.
For the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, an invitation to play here in St Petersburg is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to showcase their talents in one of the world's great cultural cities. But for two Russian violinists, this tour is also an emotional homecoming to a very different country.
At that time I thought, how can I leave Russia? This is my land, this is my home, this is my language. But then, because you're young and brave and because you think that you probably achieve more by leaving than staying in, eventually I, as many others, thousands of others, made the decision to immigrate. And that was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Because she played with me all the time.
And as for returning to Mother Russia,
I was really quite nervous before, even in a plane.
why?
I understand and I understood the country changed. I left Soviet Union. And it's different now country, Russia. And it's difficult to go back to your past. You want instantly to save that as a page in your life, untouchable.
St Petersburg is a city with a turbulent past, a witness to revolution, siege and war. The foundations rest on the bones of the slave labour that built it. It resonates with blood and beauty, suffering and splendour. Few know that more than those who've lived here. In the 1980s, the reality was particularly grim.
I think Sweden company rebuilt this hotel.
Yeah. For Mark Mogilevsky, music was the path to freedom.
That door, which I open and go from this grey, dangerous, not really nice world of problems, and there it's another life. Freedom, peace, friendship, music. Доброе утро. Да.
Mark fled Russia in 1991, just as the old regime was playing its last coda.
How many times have you walked through that door?
Oh, thousands.
At the time, he was a principal violin with the St Petersburg Philharmonic.
Ну, как жизнь?
Здорово.
Как жизнь, жизнь? Жизнь, держись.
Ну вот не похоже, что ты, так сказать,
Голодаешь.
голодаешь. It doesn't look like he's hungry or something.
He's doing all right.
It's meetings, like usually I said, 10 kilograms ago. That's one of my previous colleagues.
Очень приятно.
We played I played there, and he played a lot of times here as my partner, and a lot of hard days and good days was together. My friend's still the same, a little bit older, but what you can do. Still difficult life. They have to work hard to survive. Some of them are jealous to me. They think I'm much more happy than they are.
While the people haven't changed, almost everything else has. Even the returning Russians feel like tourists.
Everything written in Russian and people speak Russian language, but I don't feel like home. I feel like I'm in a foreign country.
Why? Has it changed so much?
It has changed. Though the buildings and the streets, of course, they haven't changed. But the feeling have changed.
But even after many years, some things about Russia, and Russians, it seems, will always stay the same.
Ah, you see, he's my friend and he already drank half of the bottle of Pertsovka. So I must help him. Just a minute. Like a real Russian woman. Now, I feel better after that.
St Petersburg can, at turns, stun and surprise. For even the casual visitor, the city is an architectural marvel. But whatever their background, for this group of musicians from Melbourne, the splendour of the facades is no match for the emotion that comes with doing what they do best.
Goosebumps. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Very, very special theatre, very, very special city. You can feel the culture, it's palpable. Wonderful acoustic, very immediate, special, supporting. Any orchestra would sound good here, but the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra in particular will be it's going to be a feast of colours.
It was undescribable. When I actually went on stage and sat on a chair and looked at the Tsar balcony and saw Georgiev, boss of the Mariinsky himself, sitting there with the supporters of MSO and friends and management, I felt this trembling inside of me, which doesn't happen very often. I get excited and I'm pretty relaxed when I play my instrument, but last night was something which I could not compare with anything before. When we started playing Cancelli piece, which is very fine, very soft, very intimate music, it was very hard to control even the movement of my bow, because that excitement and trembling in me just was something I never experienced before.
For the MSO, St Petersburg was the start and finish of the trip to Russia. But for Eleanor Mancini, Russia's window on the West, was the door to her past.
Coming back to Russia now and feeling the air and the atmosphere and reuniting with what I actually have left behind make me feel very lucky that I can visit this country, I can buy what I want, I can go where I want, I can say what I want, but I can still return to my home, which is Melbourne, Australia. I never thought I would have an opportunity, or not even an opportunity, I never thought I would want to come back to Russia, because the Russia I left was a Soviet Russia, former Soviet Union, which I felt was my country.
But now Eleanor has returned to Moscow to reacquaint herself with the city and the friends she left behind almost a quarter of a century ago.
I have left that town 25 years ago, and I never thought that I will come here again followed by cameras working on Tverskaya, which used to be called Gorkova Street, where my uncle used to live, and I was staying with my mom when I was a little girl. I love this city.
Ты абсолютно не изменилась. Я еще оттуда не видела. Ничего.
А ты тоже не изменилась.
Это тебе.
Ой, спасибо.
Это маме, а это тебе.
Ой, уже. Ты тоже не изменилась.
Абсолютно не изменилась.
Ну, а волосы?
Давай сфотографируем.
Ой, давай Ну а кто же нас
Ради
фотографирует? Подожди, давай посмотрим. Пожалуйста, сделайте нам фотографию.
Какой вид?
Вот Василия Блаженова.
Так, чиз.
When you come back to Europe and come back to Russia, do you have any regrets at all about the fact that you've made your life somewhere on the other side of the world, a long way away?
Every time I leave Australia and go enjoy myself to the fullest with orchestra or without, when I come home to Melbourne, I want to kiss every stone. Because I might get emotional.
It means that much to you to have made a new life there, does it? For Mark and for Eleanor, visiting Russia again was a deeply felt encounter with their old lives. Music is international, and for these Russian Australians, it's been a passport to a new life. For the MSO as a whole, the St Petersburg experience was an unforgettable brush with history.